2.2 right here, and it's time to review some games. New series I'm going to be starting on the channel. And today I'm going to be talking about this game called Raft. Now it says, the description says, Raft throws you and your friends into an epic oceanic adventure. Alone or together, players battle to survive in a perilous voyage across the vast sea. Gather debris, scavenge reefs, and build your own floating home. Be wary of the man-eating sharks. Now, talking about the sharks now. Supposedly, only 73% of people get the achievement for getting killing a shark, which is very strange to me, because me and my friend These Crayons 5 have somehow, I guess, killed, like, at least, 8 sharks? I have no idea, but we've killed a lot, so it's not that hard for us. We suggest just get your wooden spear. You can get them easily. When they come up and bite your boat, you hurt them. So I guess some people just don't realize that you can kill the shark, because, like, I guess it is kind of hard to tell, because, like, you don't want to get in the water with it during the beginning of the game. And also, only I think it's 80% of people make it 7 days. I don't know if that's correct, but that's also another reason that can lead towards that, like the fact that only 73% of people actually end up killing the shark, because they haven't actually made it past 7 days to the point where you have a good amount of resources to create weapons. And another thing about sharks is that they drop shark meat, like 4, I think it's 4, and they drop a shark head. I think it's like 2 to 4, because they don't always drop the same amount, which makes sense. Okay, they always drop 4. Yeah, and so what I've been wondering lately is just how commonly can you find a recipe for food? That's another thing you can do in the game. You can cook things by putting certain things together. You can basically just you can put a coconut with a fish and a pineapple and shark meat in the same soup together, and it only holds in one bowl, which doesn't make any sense to me. But you know, and plus the thing is, after it's done cooking, you only get 1 bowl of soup, even though the container looks like it can hold at least like 3. I mean, so that's another hard thing about having 2 people, because I've only played Raft multiplayer, which I really suggest that you play multiplayer. I got the game, I think 4 or 5 days ago. I don't know exactly how long ago. And I got it for my friend. So we played it together, and we've survived a long time. I have no idea how many days, but we also have figured out that if a little glitch with the hook, this hook right here, I guess, it's an artwork version of it, but that's kind of what it actually looks a lot like it. That's really good, by the way, Dr. Mop. Good artwork right there. So you use that, and sometimes when you spawn in, your hook doesn't work, like it just like kind of droops around on the floor. Just switch to a different thing in your inventory, even if it's just an empty hand. Just switch to that, and your hook will start working. Because if imagine just starting out like that for your first ever time playing Rafts and just thinking it was some terrible glitch or something like that just ruins the game for you. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Now it's time to start kind of reviewing, like, how good the actual, like, game is altogether. For me, I give this game a 5 out of 5 rating, but I've only played it multiplayer, so I don't have a single player rating. But multiplayer is 5 out of 5. You can interact with other players, you can hand them things, you can do all sorts of stuff, like, one of my favorite part about giving things to people is that you can give literally anything in your inventory to them. And you can drop 1 item or multiple. And then there's also islands that you can stop by. The islands have coral reefs in them, which you can gather ores from. And they also have seaweed, which you can turn into vine goo, which is used for lots of stuff, like flippers, or getting cooking stuff, because like basically vine goo is what you'd use for either like making I'd say flippers make sense for it, because like I mean they're flippers, they need to have good grip and stuff for going across the water. And then another thing is getting the most fun thing to do, I'd say, is cooking, because you just get to put random stuff together. The only problem with cooking is that you can only put 4 ingredients in your soup. Well, they are big ingredients, so it makes sense, but if you put a salmon in a soup and it only can fit in 1 bowl, you're gonna have a lot of salmon in there. Plus, you have like 4 other things. But, then when you get on the islands, there's pretty much always trees. I have never been to an island yet that hasn't had trees, which is good. That's good. 1 second. Ah! Oh, crap. This scarring, wow. Creepy, okay. Thanks for that, Grams. Mr. Bean. Okay. Oh yeah, that brings me to the characters. So that's another kind of a bit of a problem with the game, is that you can't just like make your own character. You either have to have this lady right here, or let's see, no, I don't see it anymore. But yeah, there's also another guy that you can be, but you can't like actually customize your person. That would be a cool update, like make your person look like you want them to, because like, would you rather be a guy who looks like he's been on the ocean for a while, or the exact opposite with a lady? Then another thing about the review that I'm doing is that there's also abandoned rafts that you find. And that just brings me to the thought about the story to the game, that there really isn't much of a story. You just think there's also a book that you can pull out that shows a picture of your family. I'm guessing that's what your family is, and I'm not sure who exactly you are. Are you the lady on the left, the guy on the right, or the kid down below with the hood? Yeah, I'm hoping it's not that little kid just getting abandoned on a boat. But then it brings you to thought that this could be like the end of the world, where everything has just been sinking slowly. But that just doesn't make much sense, considering that the people are still wearing clothes that look like they were from our time, you know? So it's either they've been in the ocean for a long time, but then considering the fact that they count days in your game is another thing. That you just spawned in there. Like, there's games like Subnautica, where you spawn in, and there's like a whole story before then. But that's another thing, that some people like games with stories. Some people like games where there's just, you do whatever you want, you know? Like, but even this game is one of those games that it's kind of nice to not have a humongous story behind the thing, because you can build stuff like this, or whatever this is, and this. And yeah, 1 second. Yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff. 1 second, my friend wants to see this, like, go live there. Oh yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff that people build in this game that are really cool. Just lots of people make videos about it. And then there's also the fact that you have to scavenge for all your resources using a hook, like, pretty much, and then you use axes to chop down trees. Yeah, then you can also use your hands and stuff to pick stuff up that's closer to you. But then the part of the game that I like the most is being able to play with your friends, because that makes the game 100% better. Because like games like Subnautica, where you can't play with your friends, you feel kind of lonely in the game, and that makes sense for Raft especially, because you're out on a boat all by yourself. just, you know, thinking about what you're gonna do next. But then playing with your friends, you have a laughing moment, just a bro moment, just all kinds of stuff that just randomly happens to you. And then there's also the mystery of that I still have yet to find out. I don't know if this is a thing that people have known for a long time or not, but like I've been wondering lately if you can go way deep down into the ocean and find like more creatures, more resources. Like I've also been wondering, like, what's the limit to how high you can build your raft? It's just, one second. Chick-fil-A. One second. The limit to anything in this game is, I think it's pretty much unlimited. There's amount of unlimited possibilities in the game. Just, you can like see like my friend who plays These Crowns 5. He posted a video recently on Halo. Check it out. It's really cool. Also, yeah, back to the subject. Then I see stuff like this. I know I've mentioned this picture a lot. Like, look at all that. Like, just all that, like, stuff where you just get to stand and survive. I'd say our raft, can I look at my own screenshots or no? This is, still well, that's a big island right there. Usually islands, that's another thing. Islands are usually kind of small. Is this a thing you can do? Wait, what? What are you, what? What are these? Llamas, they're llamas. You can get llamas? That's gonna be our goal. And what is this? Oh, that's probably like an oxygen tank or something like that, I don't know. And then that is a shark. Is this Raft? What is that? Are there like huge like islands somewhere? I know I haven't played a lot of the game, but like, what? This has got to be like creative or something like that. Where you can like, what? That makes no sense. And also, I've been wondering, is this like a third person taking the picture? Or is there a way to go into, like, perspective of looking at yourself? So that'd be nice. Then you could look at yourself wearing the shark hat. Oh, and that reminds me, the shark head. You can wear it, but it does limit your sight a little bit. It kind of bobs up and down as you walk, which is realistic, I guess. So if you want to, you kind of have to get used to it. Just wear it for a while, and then that'll be like, see, okay, the bear. There's a bear. There's got to be bears somewhere. There's gonna be bigger islands. That's interesting. Oh, and then there's the loading screen, of course. That's all I'm reviewing for now. But I really suggest you get this game. It's $20 on Steam. And altogether, I think it's good. I don't know what you think, but like, yeah, buy Raft. It's a great game. Really suggest it. Hopefully they'll be doing some playthroughs of it soon. And yeah. Well, that's it for Troll by 2.2 right now, guys, but please make sure to subscribe and like the video. It would make me very, very big happy. Yep, alright, that's it for now.